I, it's fine. I know what happened. Earlier this evening I deleted my It's fine.
There we go.
Yep. I'm sorry about that, guys. Welcome to the broadcast. Tonight we're going to be racing at the Michigan Motor Speedway. Puddin', I'll let you do the intro for the Giggity Racing League.
Once again, thank you for Giggity Racing League for having all three of us tonight. Puddin being one of your announcers, Robbie Vids and T-Clay, two of my good friends. Thank you guys for being on board with us tonight.
Yes, sir, Puddin'. It's always good to be in the booth with you. Glad to have Robbie Vids here. I know he said earlier he had been in the booth one time before. Telling you what, I enjoy it. Hope y'all do.
Robbie.
Yes.
You are, 5 or 6 hours ahead of us. Your dedication not only to Giggity, but to the enjoyment of this sport and game is much appreciated. Thanks for hanging in there tonight, man. How many cups of tea and coffee are you going to be sipping on to get through it?
None. It's going to be nothing but water and energy drinks for me tonight. But yeah.
It looks like he's going to have to make many trips to the water closet then.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Definitely.
Puddin', you've raced here many a times. What kind of line are you thinking these guys are going to run tonight?
With Giggity Racing, I bet we'll find new lines. These guys are so innovative, they're so smart, and they have and they know what their car wants, and they know how they like their car. So I would see low to medium would be in the corners. You brought it up earlier in the pre-race. Depending upon their strategy, high on the straightaways, low on the insides to save tires. But it would surprise us all to see something new and innovative from these great drivers that we have in Giggity Racing.
That is correct. Robbie, would you like to run down through the starting order tonight?
I can do, yeah. I'm just currently filling up my vape, but if you want to take over that quickly. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
go
10-4. Tonight, guys, we got a couple new guys running the hot seat at the Michigan race going on this evening. This isn't an actual starting order. This is just a list of racers that have entered into the race tonight. So we have Taddy, number 20, with Team Underdogs. Mills, number 2, with Canucks. Checkmate, number 9, with RJM. We got RJ, number 24, which is the owner of the RJM team. We got NoCo, number 1, which is the owner of the NoCo team. Wicked, number 42, also running for NoCo. Infu, number 19, running for the Underdogs. We got Spank Racer, 31, running for Team Bro. Blakey, number 88, on a hot seat for RJM. We got Pendle, number 47, on a hot seat for NoCo. Boomhauer, number 18, hot seat for Underdog. Buck, number 62, on Bro team. We got Flo, number 11, running for the Underdog team. Bulk, number 12, running for hot seat for Canuck. Trout, number 37, running for NoCo. And Plant, number 4, running for Groot.
Let me ask you guys something. We've seen it before, and we've seen it in the past where a hot seat driver has come up and has won. What do you think their strategy is as a hot seat? You want to be able to come up, you want to prove to your team owner that you can compete at this level, but at the same time, you don't want to interfere with the points race, but still be competitive. Robbie, what would be a strategy if you were a hot seat driver to, show that you're a factor, but not interfere at the same way?
Just to sit at the back and then pick off the cars one by one, spread out. Obviously, don't out the way that it is. And I'll probably just pick up a draft here and there and just follow people who are better than me and improve on the driving from there.
I agree with what Clay had to say. With the hot seat drivers, are always one to watch. We have to keep an eye on him because Hababa, he was a hot shoe. We had the privilege. So it's always cool to see these guys get their opportunity, but you at the same time, like you said, you don't want to screw up anybody else's points contingency, but you want to show that you have the stuff that it takes to race at the top level of Giggity Racing.
Yeah,
Yep, guys, right now we're actually live on the race. I've got it pulling up or loading into the screen now, so I don't know if y'all saw the message he just sent out, but we're going to get going to some live race action from Michigan International Speedway. Remember, it's your speed at the Firekeepers Casino 400 from the Giggity League Racing.
I'm excited. There is never a dull race with Giggity Racing. I almost enjoy this racing during the week, watching this as much as I do watching Cup on Sundays because it's just as entertaining.
That's right. I'm loading in the screen. Looks like we made it to the race right before the start of the race. So we're going to have some green lab action going on here with A Trout, number 37, out front.
Trout's one of the ones I always keep an eye on. Noko, another one. We're going to have quite a few of these guys that we'll keep repeating their names over the night because we see them at the top of the points and at the top of the race schedule every week, you know.
Hell yeah, boys, get your racing. Let's go.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Pull your Coors Light out and let's go NASCAR racing, as Robbie would say.
Yeah, right now Trout's still leading the pack. We've got a good race going on here. Got some guys.
47 right there. They're all going down. They want to try to cut off a couple tenths by taking that little line. With this many drivers this early, you do want to show some time dominance. You do want to get up front. Like Robbie said earlier, you can sit back, wait for mishaps, and use that draft. But with the level and the drivers here, you want to get up front and you want that clean air.
Yeah, right now number 47 is pushing the nose on the rear end of that 37 car. He wants to go ahead and get a pass early on here, it looks like.
Yeah, that 47 is Snow Pit Pendle. He's looking good right there on Trout.
That's correct.
No, I think Pendle's just going to sit there and wait for A Trout maybe to make a mistake, or he's just going to run the draft and save those tyres.
Yeah, we've all ran here multiple times. We know, if you can get enough draft, 1, 2, maybe 3 cars to break away from this field early on in stage 1, that could give them a big cushion on the rest of this pack.
Looks like Noko in that number 1, he's trying to make his presence noticed as normal, he is a very good representative of sponsors. Every race he's got a new paint scheme on that car. It throws the broadcasters for a little bit of a loop, but Noko in that number 1 car, he's coming right after Trout. You see Trout up front, you see Spitty up front, you see Noko up front all the time. It's great to see these guys race.
That's right. Right now I've got an onboard cam of Noko racing following that number 32nd, currently running number 2 spot. Looks like they're running pretty fast right now with the line choices they're making.
Looks like, yeah, these guys are maintaining through the corners very fast, too.
You there, Puddin'?
Okay, I think we're gone into caution here. I think there was a couple of cars that got into the back of each other there. I see number 62, he got a little bit loose on the back stretch, and a couple of cars just collected one another, and we are out for a caution.
Lost connection. Multiplayer error. If one of you guys wouldn't mind sending me another invite real quick. I don't know what happened here. I apologize.
Yeah, Robbie, you have to do that.
Yeah, I got you, dude.
Sorry for that technical difficulty. Yeah, we were paying attention up there, and it looked like a couple cars got loose. One dove down to the inside, tried to come back up, and it might have bumped into somebody else and got into a wall. It's very rare that we do see cautions under the Giggity Racing League's Cup Series, but when they were under that strict caution rule last week, where we're just doing game cautions this time, it was a very unfamiliar sight to see that many cautions under the strict caution rule. Tonight they are doing the game cautions.
Yeah, right now we got A Trout. It's actually started in the 2nd position, going into turn 2 here. Followed on the inside by number 88, which is one of the hot seat drivers, Blakey T.
Blakey T is one of those drivers that you see so many times. He's always up front, and he's had this is a great opportunity for him. He's had some unfortunate circumstances while leading races and being up front. Blakey T has a great amount of patience with a great skill level at the same time. It's cool to see him up here in a hot seat.
Yeah, and even though these guys are in hot seats, I would never count them out. I mean, they all do run, just as well as we do. We all run Cup cars all the time, so these guys aren't unfamiliar with these cars. They actually know how they handle and know how to drive these. Some may know how to drive them better than others, but like I said, these guys aren't. This isn't their first day in these Cup cars.
And it's good to see Buck up there in that 62. Buck's one of those other great guys you always see all the time up there, too. We got No Pit Pendle in that 47, Noko in that number 1, OG in that 19. He likes to be up there in the front, too. They're going 2 and 3 wide back here in the corners after that, going back to go green flag racing, guys. They're trying to get those positions. Any point counts.
Yeah, right now, No Pit Pendle's really pushing Noko around the corners going in here to turn 1 and 2.
Robbie, this is one of the cool tracks. You can shut off early and get into it and get a great drive. You can drive it in and roll up the corner. You can go 2 and 3 wide here in the corners. Which one of your favorite positions or lines to take in this track, Robbie?
My favourite line is definitely got to be running that second lane on turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4. That way I'm not wearing too much tyre running that bottom line. Also, I'm not risking hitting the apron and taking out somebody on the outside of me. But coming onto the back stretch, I like to drift it out wide and then get ready for turn 3 and 4, 1 and 2 from there. On the home stretch, I like to run it on the high side, and I don't really like coming down and trying to get a fast time. I just keep running that high side and save my tyres.
Guys, not to cut you off or anything, but coming in the turn now, we got number 31, which is Spank Racer, also running a hot seat, making his way up through the pack here early on in stage 1. Followed in 3rd place right now, right behind the number 37. Got a car through the grass, through the infield. Got a big wreck on the front stretch. Looks like they got it straightened out, though. I'm going to keep a green flag as we go through the stage.
There's that caution, the game cautions compared to the strict cautions that we have seen. I know some drivers like that strict caution. Some other, especially if you get caught up in it, other drivers don't like that, especially when they're running up front.
Yeah, right now number 24 of the RJ Smitty with the RJ Racing Team. He's now put his nose up into 3rd place here, coming from the back of the pack. May have somebody look after him tonight.
I got to follow RJ Smitty racing in some practice races with him. It is just insane and how consistent and smooth he is. As tires wore off, you couldn't even tell his car was getting loose. RJ Smitty is one of those great drivers, just like Noko and Trout and OG and Lysa Plant, who can maintain a car on loose tires, but they're so smooth at all times. Looks like Noko got a little loose there, and he's back up in there.
Sure did. These guys look like they've slowed down a little bit since the first lap of the restart. They look like they were really pushing it hard off that restart there, man. I'm telling you, the screen was barely making a little buzz. They were going so fast.
Constantly 2 and 3 wide going through these first 10 and 11 laps here, guys. This is showing you what they want to do. And this track gives you so much opportunity. And this is one of the few tracks that forgives you for the mistakes that you make, you know. Being so wide, you know. So if you make an error, don't worry about it. You can brush up, you can slow down. Oh, Noko and OG barely touch, but going in their corner right there. But this is one of the forgiveness tracks, as I call it, where it's okay to make a small mistake. There are very few tracks you can't do that if you're running on the wall or something.
Yeah, right now we got a lot of shuffling going on. We've seen many people take over the first place position right now. We all know what's going on there. You know, as you go through Michigan, you got these high and low lines. Depending on where your car's set up, you're definitely going to get ran underneath or maybe a little bit over the top, depending on how fast you're going in entering that corner. It's good to see
like
good
OG
racing here like this.
Making a pass for his lead on the inside. Sorry to cut you off there. OG and Buck are making a run on Smitty. That's where that draft comes into play. We were talking about that in the pre-race. You get 2 cars hooked up. Racing against each other side by side can slow you down at a track like this, so you got to be cautious about that. Make your pass, and if you don't think you can, back out of it and get back single file. But these guys are maintaining real well. Looks like the 24 of RJ Smitty barely gives OG in the 19 a little bump right there. Oh, we got a car spinning around coming off the. Yeah, backs it into the wall coming off the corner of turn 2 right there.
You can see here you got 2 packs now. I mean, if it was me, if I was running in that backpack, I'd see if I could pick up somebody and just run that draft. 2 cars go faster than 1. What about you guys? What would you do?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you right there on Robbie. You get separated in that second pack, you really want to get back up there to that first pack and get back in that line. right there you're in a position where it doesn't really matter if you gain one position. It's just for a stage because you're not going to be in those first 5 guys anyways. Looking back there in that second pack, you would think they might get 2 or 3 deep and just try to hold it steady and get back up to the front of the pack. But you know as well as I do, that's sometimes hard to do when you got good racing going on.
It was the paint car, the number 4, the Flights of Plant, that spun out, got loose, back in the wall. He's back here by himself. Again, play it patient, don't get upset. You got stages, you can come in, make your adjustments, and get a chance to come back into the race, you know. But unfortunate break early on for Flights of Plant, guys. He's a good driver.
Yeah, right now we see Buck RCN out front. Coming across the front stretch, he's actually running that low bottom line we were talking about that may be eating his tires up a little bit more than these guys running that high line that Robbie Viz was telling us about. Let's watch the next couple laps, see what kind of lines these guys are running down that front stretch.
It's a cool planner's paint scheme that the 37 of A Trout's running. I haven't seen that before. Very cool paint scheme. It's cool to see these guys change it up. Hard to identify when you race so many times and broadcast as it looks like we're going under a caution or the stage end here. You look for the same paint scheme, but there's so many different ones out there. It's so cool to see.
There's one guy I want to talk about, and that is Spank Racer. Now tonight it's his debut. Managed to jump straight into the Cup Series, and he seems to be running up the pack, and he's doing quite well.
It's very uncharacteristic that you get tossed straight into the Cup League in Giggity Racing. So he has the very rare opportunity. Let's see what he can pull out of this. That's a good observation, Robbie.
He's most definitely one to watch tonight.
Going back out. Here we go, guys. A-Trout's back a little bit in the pack. 47 of No Pit Pendles right there. And is it anybody surprised to see the number 1 of NOCO up front?
No, I mean, NOCO's a very strong racer. We know he's a team owner, also a captain in this league. He's been in this league for a long time. He's a strong racer. It's not no surprise to me to see him running up there for the top position.
There's a caution. The 18 car. There's 2 cars to get back there. The 18 car gets spun around. I got to grab a name on who that was, but there was 2 cars that made contact. But again, with game cautions on, it's a lot different than strict cautions. You got to be cautious, you know, especially with that new rule.
Yeah, I definitely thought that the caution was coming out of there. I saw that yellow car get sideways, almost sideways in the air. So I'm really surprised the caution didn't come out there, Puddin'. Robbie Vidge, we know that you are also in this Giggity League. Who's your teammates out here racing for the Cup Series?
Our teammates are NOCO Racing. We also have No Pit Pendle. He normally runs in the Xfinity Series. I've got to say, between NOCO and Pendle, they're definitely a big help and very constructive and informative about what I need to do for me personally, and they've been a big help. We've also got, I'm not sure, but it might be a Trout as well that we have with us. There's also Wicked Gatekeeper also.
Looks like NOCO's got heavy damage. I believe he's running the rear of the field right now.
I think it's just going to be a case of just running the rest of the race for him on this first stage, and then trying to take on stage 2 and stage 3 and go for that win.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, the broadcast cam on this game doesn't really do this track justice of how fast these guys are really going. Right now we got the number 19 of, not sure if this is right, but Ognfa out front. Not sure how to pronounce his username there. Followed by the number 62. Number 24 of RJ Smitty sure is working his way back up towards the front right here, going from 5th to 3rd place just like that. Going into turn 1 here at the Michigan Motor Speedway. Puddin', you still with us, buddy?
Yo, yes, I'm right here. I just had to have a little discussion with the missus.
Understood
Say
that.
no more.
You're missing some
Say
good
no more.
racing when you're doing that. We need to be watching the Giggity Racing League.
I'm just in here watching. I just had to unplug my mic so the whole world didn't have to listen to my annoying wife's voice. Sorry, guys. Back to this great racing.
We go about 4 and 5 wide coming in there. Hot on that turn. Number 24 in the middle. Trying to keep these cars from hitting him on the left and right. Coming back out to the back stretch.
Giggity in the 88 there, he's going to take the inside, and he might get 24 on turn 3 and 4 here, but we'll see.
It's really cool. Giggity has so much talent, and he had some very unfortunate circumstances in his first couple of races where he was up front and a couple people in the back of the pack while they were lapping him they made contact and stuff and led to a most unfortunate finish for him. So it's great to see Blakey T up here in a hot seat in that Exalta 88 car, getting the chance to drive like we know he can in the caliber of drivers that we have again. He's got what it takes, you know. But as a hot seat driver, you don't want to push it. You don't want to accidentally bump somebody too hard or wreck somebody, or you know. But you still want to be like, hey guys, I deserve to be here.
Oh yeah, I mean right now he's fitting in very well, holding a good position up front. Let's see if he can get around these guys in the next few laps.
We spoke with him last week after Darlington in the truck race, and he was not so happy, and due to again one of those unfortunate circumstances. But he shook it off. He you know, got a great opportunity, and he's right back on the rear bumper, that 24 of RJ Smitty up there. So
right now, he just caused a wreck. Him, Buck, he got around sideways and crashed Buck right there. Let's see if this brings out the caution.
He got into a bit of pendle there as well in the 47, and they were running side by side just fine. And that just goes to show
it appears that the caution is
level
coming out. Sorry, Robbie.
No, you're okay, mate. Yeah, there's a caution now, but that just goes to show the level of competition there is. Even when you're a hot seat driver, you want to run up with the boys as well. If you're not going to be patient, sit back and let the boys get the points, you are just going to want to have your own race and see where you can get.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I'd like to see him do very well, but causing a big wreck right there is not what you wanted to see him do coming into this hot seat.
But that's where the benefactor of having a little bit of patience in stages is on. I know Buck is one of our top-notch drivers also. Is running up front, got a team and everything. Definitely didn't deserve to see that happen. Blakey T definitely didn't do it on deliberate, you know.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I think these guys understand that though, and I don't think they're taking it to foul right here. I think we're going to see some good clean racing continue. And
looks like A-Trout and that cool Planners 37. He's back up front. OG 19 on the outside. We got RJ Smitty and there's 24 right behind him. And then we got that 12 right there with him too. Once again, let's see how these guys hold the first couple laps. There's so many lines that you can take.
yeah, right now live on the broadcast, I'm watching number 47 in the no pit Pendle. He's got about 5 or 6 guys in front of him. It really gives the viewers a good aspect of how this race looks from the driver's standpoint.
Noko appears to be back at the back of the field. That doesn't seem to be a big threat sitting to him because we know his talent caliber. But let's see how he does make his way and navigate and weave his way back through the field. It's very rare to see him back this far. Maybe went to the pit there, maybe some strategy, maybe a car adjustment. But he'll definitely be back to his front. But let's see how he does it on this wide track with numerous lines.
Yeah, it looks like we just got a message from Caddy. I believe that was the end of stage 1. I think we're going to be in stage 2 starting out here.
2, 3 wide. Whoa, way upside is the number 3 car. Then we got Noko way down on the inside line. Then we got right there Checkmate Taylor into the 20 of Taddy. A little bumper car's on accident when you get 3 ways there. All cars maintain a regroup. You know, stuff happens. I know they don't like to see that. It definitely is uncharacteristic, but you know, patience are a virtue when it comes to a 50% race too. You want to maintain yourself, but 50% of the race, you do got to get in front. You got to make your presence known so you can be strong towards the end. Robbie, what would you do if you had to start in the back of a pack here?
Me, I would just sit back and then enjoy the ride and just sit in that draft for a while, maybe for about 5 to 10 laps, and focus on saving my tyres, and hopefully that benefits me at the end of the race. Just as we're in stage 2 now, I'm going to go over the top 10 from stage 1. In first we had OG Infa, in second we had A Trout, in third we had RJ Smitty, in fourth we had Blakey T, one of our hot seat drivers, in fifth we had another hot seat driver, No Pit Pendle, good buddy of mine. In sixth we had Mills. In seventh we had Spank Racer, this is his debut. In eighth we had Wicked Gatekeeper. In ninth we had Lysa Plant, and in 10th we had K-Mac.
And it's awesome the relationship that you build not only with all of Giggity but the team that you have. And it's so cool to see all of that help each other through and help each other work the way up through the ranks here. And like you said with Spank Racer, you know, very rare opportunity. He's trying to make every second count of it. And as we go 3 wide down there in the back, it looks like RJ Smitty and Noko, they are very used to racing next to each other, working their way back up to the front there, right behind that 18 and the 42 car.
I'm not quite sure, but I think No Pit Pendle is going to run some strategy now. I've just seen him drop to the back of the first pack, so I think he's just going to ride that draft now and save some tyres.
In the draft, you save a little bit of petrol too, you know. I just not as much, not a lot, but you know, maybe an extra lap or two that could help pull you out too. But yeah, that draft is a big beneficiary here.
Oh, most definitely. When you're running a 100% race, oh, a bit of bumping going on there. When you're running a 100% race, you know, you can save a lot of fuel, but you got to hold tight on that draft. Oh, somebody going into pit lane there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if they got bumped down there or if that was a little strategy. Judging this early, I think that might have been an accident.
It seems to be the 24 of RJ Smitty being knocked into pit lane there. Hopefully that's going to benefit him and not take him out of the race.
As long as he doesn't go a lap down, which this is one of the few tracks that you could get on pit lane and get off. As long as you do it right, you're not going to go a lap down. He still should be, oh, the 47. 47 right there. I believe that's No Pit Pendle got spun around. And again, we're under game cautions, not strict cautions. So we're going to remain under green right now as we see the 47 taking the loop.
Yeah, right now watching number 47 and No Pit Pendle. He's crossing the checker flag right now over the start line. Looks like he got spun around. Might put him back a little bit for the stage, but that is the good thing about racing stage racing is he will have a chance to get caught up as long as he can stay on this lead lap.
And we see Checkmate Taylor and Noko. Again, Checkmate's one of the ones that we don't talk about very often, but we should because he is up front. He is very clean. He is very fast. I had the opportunity to race with him earlier today, and him and I did go back and forth for 4 or 5 laps doing the old slide job to each other. He's a great driver, and him and Noko right now, it looks like they're appearing to work together to get back up front. They both know that it's not worth battling each other. They know that it's worth working with each other then to battle. Well, it looks like we got a car on the inside of the apron on the backstretch too. I can't tell who that was.
The 18 boom hammer. It's got a lot of damage.
It's great to see Boomhauer back in the league. He had to take a small sabbatical. We got to do some broadcasting with him and racing with him earlier today too. Great to see Boomhauer back racing at the top level of Giggity Racing. Unfortunate break for him. Again, stage racing, he should be able to make that back up. But that's great to see Boom back up here.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, this number 88 of Blakey T, he is holding that front strong. Got right now K-Mac number 21 hot on his heels, but Blakey T's held him off about the last 5 or 6 laps. Right now K-Mac sideways, he gets a little loose. K-Mac 21 slams into the wall in turn 4. Looks like we're going to have a big wreck here. Let's see if this brings out the caution here at Michigan.
It's hard once you get up front to not drive out that mirror. If you guys have listened to Giggity broadcast before with me announcing, you've heard me say 1,000 times, especially as a racer in real life myself, you want to race the racetrack and not the driver. And while you're leading, it's hard. You want to do a block, you want to protect your position, but this early in the race, you want that clean air, so you got to pay attention to what's ahead of you, not behind you. And let's see if Blake T can do that for himself.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier there, Puddin', is we saw that car get into the wall, the number 21. He slammed that wall in turn 4. Caution did not come out. That's one of the issues with the game, is that when we do have a caution with multiple cars, that the caution is not coming out. We also just got an update which has strict cautions, which is almost too easy to get a caution. We need a happy medium in there that we can find a balance, but the game doesn't seem to provide that right of now.
Robbie, what do you think with that? I agree with exactly what he just said, the happy medium. You don't want to bump a wall and get a caution, but if a car spins out, you have to assume there would be a caution. And I like that word he just used, happy medium.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they got a lot of sliders on this game. They don't have a slider for cautions as well. I mean, and then you could pick your own balance. Every single league that's out there, they could pick their own balance of what cautions they want. But I will say, it's going to be a few drivers that's not going to be happy about it, and that's going to be Wardrobe. Spanks also, he's not benefited from that either. There's also RJ Smitty, I bet he was hoping for a caution as well, and also Pendle and Boomhauer, who are currently suffering with damage. But like I said, you definitely need a slider for the caution.
That's a great concept. That's a great idea. Something that you should send to them, and when they accept it, tell them you want $1 million for sending that idea, and there's your rags of riches dollar right there. That's a great idea. Have a slider caution setup.
Man, I'm telling you what, after seeing the cautions that we've had come out tonight that have not been called cautions, this pack is really starting to spread out. A lot of these guys are probably pretty happy that this isn't the final stage going in here.
Boomhauer definitely looks like he could benefit from a caution in that 18 M&M's car of Kyle Busch, who just won the Monster Energy Cup Championship tonight. I don't know if it's just the delay in the game, or if he does have that much damage. If he's got that much damage, he definitely would like to see one of those beneficial captures. He's following Wicked Plant right there in that cool pink car. And it looks like Plant's coming to the pit lane. And it's cool to see Mills out here on the track too. We've had the opportunity, T. Clay and I have, to be in broadcast with Mills. He's in broadcast booth with Mills. He's a great guy. Same thing with Boomhauer. It's cool to see these guys, and it's great to have them in the booth when they can be, to get their insight and what they would do, since they're out here at the top level. And it's great to have Robbie Vince, who is also a GRL competitor, give us his input, because he knows a lot of these drivers as well. It's always cool to have that.
Yeah, right now I'm not really sure exactly who's in the lead with all these cars spread out the way they are. Has anybody been able to actually identify and see if Blakey T and the car in front of him still is in the lead?
I think you might find that Book Racing actually might be in the lead. I'm quite sure.
Not sure.
He's running a bit too tight.
Yeah, everybody's kind of spread out here. It's kind of hard to follow the leader on here since we don't have an update of who exactly is in first.
It is another issue as well. We need our own leaderboard and lap count for when we're broadcasting these races.
Yeah, another thing I would like to is when you're actually...
Buck Racing is to the pits right now. Buck Racing to the pits, guys. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Another thing I would like to see is when you're scrolling through the game and you're scrolling through these drivers, I wish it would go in order from first to last instead of going like of how they started the race order, because that's how it does now. You know, if you start the race, it's going to all be in a line, but you know, as this race goes on and everybody gets spread out, you may be clicking from the front and the rear. So if you're watching the broadcast and you see us go from the front to the rear to the middle to the back to the front to the rear, that's because every time we click and scroll through these cars, it doesn't go in order. We're having to go through the field just to get the right angle and right view so you can see the best view of the race.
Well, that's another great observation. But it's so hard to From our aspect, especially up here in the booth and as competitors when we compete ourselves, they have made great strides and great improvements in this game, in my opinion, from Heat 3, from the sound to the audio. Oh, it looks like lights a plant right there, gets loose and smacks the inside back wall in that pink number 4 car. But he looks like he gathered it back up and he's back on the backstretch. But they made great strides from 3 to 4, and as many ideas from the millions of fans and competitors that are competing in this. Maybe they should definitely take a look at that and give that opportunity out there.
Yeah, I believe the broadcasting side of this has really evolved within the last few years. You see a lot of these guys posting with these leagues and actually running a broadcast team just as Giggity Racing League has started. I believe they're one of the first teams to actually get this team that they have going with all the racing they do, 6-7 days a week, every week except for the All-Star break. I mean, they got a high potential to have a lot of viewers watching their stuff. It would be nice to have a kind of a platform that was a little better for the viewer at home watching these races.
But with that being said, we still got great racing on the track with these great Giggity Racing drivers.
That's for sure.
Robbie, how long being a competitor? How long has Giggity Racing League been around for the people out there who are wondering?
I think they're on their second or third season, so we're looking at maybe a year and a half.
A year and a half. They've got over 100 drivers, and what will be soon to be 4 competition levels from dirt to cup all the way up. They have a point structure. They have a way that they recruit. I mean, if you're not wanting to be part of this and being legit and testing your skills, then I don't know, because Giggity Racing League definitely has their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s all together.
Yeah, I believe I like the most impressive thing with them is how they do scouting for drivers, and they have that pool that everybody's still welcome in. As long as you're just not in there to wreck people, you're welcome to come run these races and be part of Giggity. I mean, it's really open to everybody, and they want to get good drivers in there, and the more good drivers they get, the more they can expand the league. So if you've ever wanted to race NASCAR Heat 4 or wanted to race at all, if you don't have the game, go out and get a copy of it. Pick one up at your local store that you can rent from, or a Redbox may have it from time to time. Put the game in, jump on here and come holler at one of us. Let us know you want to race, and we can get you signed up for one of these Friday night races in the trucks to see if it's something you like to enjoy.
That's like they said, they got a development league on the way up. That's a good point. Sorry, Robbie, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the best things about Giggity Racing League, I haven't seen it in any other league. If you're struggling, and you are starting from rock bottom, they're willing to help you, show you your lines, give you setups, and bring you up to the top and work with you. That's one of the best things.
And that's what's, they're not other people would just kick you to the side so they could beat you. And that's what's great about Giggity, is everybody's there to help everybody, like in real racing, everybody help everybody in the pits. But when it comes to brass tacks and bronze airmen on the racetrack, then they're coming to come get you.
I'm sorry, Puddin, just to interrupt you. Book Racing seems to have lagged out.
That's
not good.
No, but because I think the way I was trying to read it there, I think Buck was leading and he got lagged out. Wow, that's going to definitely throw a little bit of a kibosh into it right there.
Yeah, don't see much action going on in this pit box right now. Looks like he's definitely lagged out there.
And now that we've gone under a long green flag run, the cars have started to separate it apart. We got, A-Trout in this cool Planners 37 blue and yellow car. He's right there, no pit panel on that 47. He's just out cruising, maintaining himself. Now it looks like Taddy and Noko, they've got a nice little battle going on back there, and it appears to be that appears to be the best battle on the track is Taddy and Noko.
Yeah, I'm watching that live right now on the feed as well, Puddin'. If you want to talk about what you think's going on between Noko and him coming in this turn 1 here.
I think that they're just trying to get their best position. Use that draft when they get that opportunity to make that pass, they can. But watch these guys right here. They're not making any unnecessary movements which could slow the car down. They're trying to stay in the draft. That way they can put themselves in a good position when they feel it's appropriate. It looks like Blakey T's just ahead of them.
Yeah, right now we're live on number 20, K Taddy's car as he's going into the pits here. We'll show what a pit stop looks like here at the Michigan Motor Speedway.
K Taddy being one of the administrators of Giggity Racing League, can't thank him enough for his invite and Robbie's invite to be able to broadcast these guys. Awesome to see him race, and his strategies are always on point also.
You know, when I found out that both yourself and T. Clay were going to start commentating, I thought to myself, I can't wait to get in the booth with you guys. Because we used to run together before, in the league before, in NASCAR Heat 3. And going from then to now, there's been a big change, a lot of changes in NASCAR Heat. And also, now we're broadcasting and commentating and live streaming. And it's just, you know, it's gone a long way. And, you know, putting your driving's come along well. You're definitely easy on NASCAR Heat 4. T. Clay, you've been brought into the Xfinity Series for Giggity Racing League, and I've got to say, both your driving from Heat 3 to Heat 4 has definitely improved a lot.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Robbie. I don't understand how it works for a lot of people out there. In real life, I'm a very good bowler. Numerous 300s games, a couple 800 series. But when it comes to Wii bowling, I can't bowl. Real life motorcycle racing, real life dirt car racing, I was very good. You put me in a video game, you know, not very good. I met Robbie playing a different game, a shooter game, and he challenged me one night and said, "Hey, let's get this game, and I'll beat you at your own sport." And I was like, "Okay, let's do this." And I mean, Robbie and I have been good friends ever since then. So I appreciate Robbie Vince for everything he's done for me, and it's great to have him in the box. It's great to have Clay in the box again from Heat 3. Robbie, Clay, and I raced together, and we all meshed very well. And it's awesome to have both of you guys watching this fantastic racing.
Bit of arguing going here on the track between Blakey T and the number 19.
I just saw that.
Tempers are flaring a little bit there.
I just saw that. Yeah.
That's OG info.
Yeah, 19 is OG.
OG info you. Yeah.
And I don't see any cars going around. I can't tell if that was a caution, but I think that might be the end of the stage. But that's something cool, Robbie, because of the opportunity that you and Taddy gave me. I'm starting to learn these numbers real well. I do have a list of everything right in front of me, but I know 1's NOCO, 24 Smitty, 19's OG, 43's D Smith. 42's Gatekeeper. It's cool the more and to race with them too and get to know them. It makes Giggity Racing League even that more personal. It's awesome. But let's see what kind of pit strategy and let's see what kind of adjustments everybody's going to make. I believe that would be a stage in, but let's see, because this is the go time. Get 4 freshies. Yep. I normally say 4 freshies, 2 tanks. Pull them belt straps tight and hit that tall skinny pedal. You'll hear me say it every week.
Let's hope they keep their composure and let's see some interesting racing here.
And it looks like Life's planting that pink cars out front. Then we got the number 1 of NOCO, which is no surprise up there. Blakey T's right there. 19 of OG's right there. We got the 24 of RJ Spitty's right there. Pitt's right there. He's right there in the 47 car. They are definitely going hard at it. Look at that. A couple of Robins racing, but they got to keep going here, guys. Oh, big wreck. That was more than 1 car. That has to definitely bring out a dandelion. That has to be a caution on the track.
Yeah, I think these boys here have just got to remind themselves, there's still a long way to go, but they got the rest of the race. We've also got another race tonight after this one, so, try and keep your composure and just run these laps down and have some good racing.
I agree with that, Robbie. But one thing, too, if you get too spread out, driving talents. Yeah, so everybody wants that fresh air. Everybody wants to be up front. Everybody wants to get there. But at the same time, they want to get up front because it's so hard to pass once it spreads out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. We got the results through from the.
Robbie, you still there with us? Can't really hear you. You're lagging out a little bit.
Okay.
In that 88, one of the hot street drivers, he's up front taking us there. Noco's a little bit further back. We'll see him work back up front until Robbie will get him fixed and get back here in the booth with us. Clay, what are you seeing, man? This is some good racing. Everybody wants
right
this
now
last
I'm watching
stage.
number 47, a No Pit Pendle. He's on the outside going down the backstretch right now. Got a couple races today. Who's going to pit early? Who's going to go late? Who's just going to run their tires and run their fuel all the way out to nothing?
That's a great observation too. Heat 3 to Heat 4, though, they have made some adjustments. Driving styles have changed, and again, the lanes that you take on this. As we see, we got cars on the apron and cars in the middle. We are going 3 and 4 wide here. They are fighting for every inch they got. Let's see who can pull out and conserve just enough. Oh no, we got 42 going around. We got number 3 going around. We got a big wreck on the front stretch right here, Clay.
Yeah,
Bobby.
yeah, Puddin', we got that all on camera. I was actually following Noco's chase cam of his car. The incident it started out right in front of him in the red car. I'm not sure the number got sideways, and then I actually flipped to the rear view camera of his car, and man, I'm telling you what, that's going to be one to go back and look at right there.
Unfortunately, not what some drivers wanted to see. Fortunately, that's what other drivers wanted to see. Quick change, get to the pits, make those adjustments, get them tires. Anytime you can get 4 freshies, everybody hears me say this on a weekly basis, 4 fresh tires is a big advantage. Yes, you want track position, especially here if you get spread out, but with this being a draft track, you still should be able to start from the back and work your way up pretty quick before they spread out in the draft.
Okay, here we go again, boys.
Good to have you back, Robbie.
I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's because I got my PlayStation behind the TV. I'm going to have to move it after this broadcast is over.
Yeah, we thought we lost our Irish buddy.
I'm not Irish.
I just like to hear you say that. That's all. I know. I just like hearing you say it. And
Yeah,
once
These
again,
boys are riding a bit aggressive here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Boomhauer of the number 18 car just got into the Planters 37 there, gave him a little bump going into turn 1 and 2. Don't think it was intentional, but man, I'm telling you what, like Robbie said, these guys are going at it. It's good racing.
it's great that, again, we brought this up earlier. Boom had to take a small sabbatical. It's great to see him back up in the top tier of the Giggity Racing League, and he wants to make his presence be known as we see Blakey T right there behind the 37 at H. Trout, who is behind the 24 of RJ Smitty, who's taking the lead. And it looks like Trout's going to the inside of him, Robbie Clay.
Yeah, right now we're live from Boomhauer 01, which is being broadcasted from the number 18 car. Got a good few of these leaders going back and forth right here. We've seen some of these guys actually go down below the white line multiple times, going through these corners, see if they can hold it in there. Right now, number 21 gets squeezed. We got one car down the pit lane. Looks like he might have hit the wall. Looks like maybe this will bring out the caution. Boomhauer gets into the number 21.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Clay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, we're good.
I'm following H. Trout and him and Taddy.
Yeah.
They were 4 wide in the middle, and that's what you call a good old-fashioned American not good situation.
Yeah, buddy, man, I'm telling you, everything you was talking about, we were watching live right there. Definitely something to look back on. This third stage is going to be something to go back and rewatch how aggressive and fighting these guys are getting into.
Yeah, I just got one word: reset. Come on, boys, just reset.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep your composure.
I think it was Boomhauer that last time we were broadcasting together was talking about, you know, these cautions breed cautions, and I'm telling you what, that is sure is a true statement. Robbie, I'm sorry if I cut you off right there, buddy. My bad.
No, you're good, dude. It's all good.
Especially for you, Clay, being new to the Xfinity, and Robbie being here also. Do you guys watch these races, and do you guys personally learn something to improve yourself from these drivers?
Oh yeah, definitely. For me, definitely. Every week. I don't get a chance to use it because I always get caught up in wrecks, but it is what it is, and that's going to happen. You know, riding in the Xfinity Series, sometimes it can be a little bit rough, and sometimes you will be caught up in wrecks, but hopefully that'll change by next week. But watching these boys, I do learn a lot.
Yeah, one of the main things I learned that you would have to really pay attention to pick up on this is if you say, for instance, we run with a lot of these guys all the time, and you might pick a track that they're running for the race like tonight they're running in Michigan, and you have a guy on here that's a little bit faster than you in Michigan. Watch his car, man. If you can get an invite to that race, or even just watching a live broadcast when it's on him, see when he lets off, see when he accelerates, see if you can hear if that car is actually all the way down or a little bit off that throttle. A lot of these guys run this throttle on or off, but I'm telling you, the fast guys run this throttle on, slightly off, right in the middle. There's a lot of adjustments you can do, even on the controller, to keep a little bit of momentum going over another guy.
I had such a great advantage from being in the booth watching these guys, but the opportunity when Taddy gives me the invite to come race with these guys, I follow them. I follow them, and I learn from them that way also. So I feel like there's a two-way. I can watch on here and learn, and then while I participate with them, following behind them, their exit points, their entrance points, where they accelerate, if they brake at certain tracks, and it's so cool to improve. Because you don't listen to anybody that it looks like 37 of 8 Trout's going 30 wide for the lead up here. And
yeah, look at this battle we got going on. 4 and 5 wide, Puddin'. Excuse me there. This is a good fight.
When I was racing, if somebody came up to me and gave me advice, if I was beating him, why would I listen to him? As Noko goes through the grass. But if somebody that came up and beat me gave me advice, I would listen to them. You know, kind of the same example. And that's unfortunate. I don't know if that's going to throw out a caution, which would appear it does. It's not very often you see Noko mowing grass right there.
Let's cycle through everybody's car right here, give everybody a look of the nice paint schemes we're running this evening.
Thanks again to Taddy for having me back. Robbie, thanks for getting me involved in this whole deal. And then tonight, as a broadcaster, to have 2 of my best NASCAR friends, both Robbie and T-Clay and I both have a personal relationship. It's awesome to be able to sit in the booth with both of you guys, 2 of my good friends, and kick back and watch something that all 3 of us enjoy and can call the race. Thanks for having me, guys, and it's awesome to have both of you in the booth.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Watching some NASCAR, drinking
we've been,
some beer.
I didn't really.
Okay, sorry, dude. I had to do it.
I was waiting for Robbie to say that throughout the night.
I wasn't really. I woke up this morning, man. I knew there was going to be a cup race. I was hoping I got the invite, to come broadcast at least. So, kind of exciting to have, Robbie Vids and Puddin' in here. Didn't really expect that to end my day off, but man, I'm telling you what, wouldn't be a better way. I'd rather have it.
As we go back to green, yeah, like I said, Robbie Vids and I, we met playing a different game. It's a shooter game, and since I don't want to get sued, everybody can probably they probably know what game that was, and we played that for quite a few months, and then he said, hey, come over and do this, and I'm glad he did, because of the people that he got me to meet, being Clay and Taddy and RJ and everybody. And as we see Trout up here front, meeting all these guys, and it was all due to Robbie. So this is, I agree, this is a dream come true to sit in the booth with 2 of my good friends, watching some of my other good friends that I've met watch, and RJ Smitty's going to the inside of Trout. Here we go down the backstretch, Robbie.
Yeah, this is definitely awesome. I mean, right back at you boys, and also, what would you do now? So laps have gone by, your tyres are probably midway wear, maybe a bit over 60, 70. What would you do now?
Well, there's a politically correct way to say this, and then there's a not politically correct. But since we're on late, we're going to say it like this. We're going to put it and be safe and sound. Go big or go home. Now's the time. You want up front. You want that clean air. Somebody behind you can't push you and draft you. Pay attention to your line, but you want to be as far up front as we can, as we see Blakey T making that inside pass on Trout right behind RJ Smitty in that draft.
Yeah, we got Noko and No Pit Pendle coming together here. We've got the 47 and the 1. It'd be interesting to see if they work the draft and start picking through these cars.
Yeah, guys, right now.
Make a little bumper, a little door to door. And again, I think that's that side draft where it just pulls you up. Sorry there, Clay. I just saw that as I was watching Trout live.
Yeah, right now we got about 15 laps to go as they just crossed the flag right there.
Let's go big or go home now.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to go. This race is getting down towards the end.
Tires, no tires, fuel, no fuel, gumption level at its highest, testicular fortitude at its highest. It's go big or go home time.
Here you go. Look. Now what?
And Blakey T's making a pass.
You got Noco and Pendle, two teammates working together. They'll run the draft and they'll start picking these cars coming on the outside of the 19 here.
And that's awesome to see Giggity Racing Leagues do that too. You know, it's nice to be able to fall back and have that support. Hey, can I help you here? Can you help me here? But when you get into a situation like that, it's not an ask situation. It's a I know my teammates got my back.
Talk about how good these drivers are. I just went on YouTube and was watching A Trout's video. This man is actually running in-car cam for this whole entire race.
And that's even a lot spectacular. Because personally, I drive over hood. I know some people drive behind the spoiler. Some people drive on the front bumper, and then there's the in-car guys. In-car guy, for me, is a little bit more difficult. That makes it even more impressive to watch Trout drive from an in-car van, which is more realistic, too. As he's pushing the 2450 right there, and it looks like, OG's giving Blakey T's a punch there, Clay Robbie, up to the front. These guys are trying to do anything they can to help each other. Trout's falling back to fourth.
Just flicking through cars here. It seems that we've also got lots of plant. He's also lagged out as well.
Who was that you said, Robbie?
Lights of Plant. Lights of Plant. Yeah. Unfortunately, he had an unfortunate break earlier. I can't wait to talk to some of these drivers afterwards, because here I am once again sitting on the edge of my couch with two good buddies in my ear, watching 16 great drivers battle this out. Blakey T, RJ Spitty, OG, A Trout. Then we got Wicked and Noco all up here in the top 5 and 6 competing.
Yeah, here we go again. We got two teammates again. Noco, a Wicked Gatekeeper from Team Noco. Sorry, a bit of favouritism here because they're my teammates. Looks like they're working together and trying to work that draft, but we've got the 21 coming on the inside of the Wicked Gatekeeper here and breaking that draft up, and the 31's going to follow.
Blakey T's trying to do anything he can. He wants to hold that line. He wants to find he wants to hold his fastest line, but he's also trying to hold that line off between Smitty behind him and H-Route with Noco pushing him. Robbie, what would you do if you were leading your very first ever Cup race as a hot seat at Michigan, and you had RJ, OG, Trout, Noco, knowing all, and plus everybody else, the talent that they have? What would you do to hold them back?
Me, coming on the home stretch, I'll drop to the bottom line, and then, depending on my tyre wear, I'd also run the bottom line around turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Car sliding through the grass, Robbie, sorry. Cars
no, you're good, I'll see that.
Yeah.
Puddin' and Robbie...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go for Clay.
Looks like we got a caution here. Yeah, sorry, I lagged out a little bit. What I was going to say is also talking about Blakey T up front running the hot seat. I don't know if y'all noticed, but the 31 of Spank Racers coming through the field right now. He may be a potential winner of this race as well, running his first hot seat.
And that's not only a hot seat, but he got a pretty presidential invite to sit in that car as a Cup driver for his first DRL race. It's not very often you see that.
That is true.
And he has proved why he did get that invite. You know, he's put some great drivers in his rear view, but he's got a lot of great drivers in his windshield too. Plus, drivers in his rear view, they're going to come after him, knowing, hey, look, we can't let some yellow tape rookie come in front of us.
Yeah, I bet to say he's actually enjoying it, because you were in the lobby earlier. We were racing with all these guys, and including him. He was like, man, you know, I've always wanted to be in the league, never had the chance. You know, he's in an awesome race right now. He's actually doing good. He's up towards the front. I bet this guy's actually having a ball with this tonight with the Giggity Racing League here in Michigan.
I raced with him battle to battle for 10 laps at Iowa. He would slide me, I'd slide him back and forth. He's super clean, and he's proven that too. But he's also got speed. There's a difference between speed and clean, and he's got both. He's got the Jean Girard. He can make that car 5 lanes wide and be fast.
Yeah, right now we got 7 laps to go.
And RJ Smitty's up front. Robbie, Blakey T's right behind him. Who's gonna? If you got to pick one, Robbie, out of these top 5 drivers, who are you gonna take a pick?
I'm gonna say Noko.
Are you a little biased?
I am. Well, not only biased, but Noko here, he's got the inside line, he's running a draft, and that's going to pull him to 3rd place.
Yeah, I'm going to go with RJ here.
Go ahead, Carly. Sorry.
So I'm going to go with RJ here. That's my team captain, so I'd like to see him win, get our team another win here at Michigan, you know.
If I had to pull a dark horse, I have no personal affiliation with GRL except for racing with you guys.
Oh, Big Rick.
I'm gonna have to say Blakey T, but it looks like no.
Wicked
and
Trout's just went around sideways.
Yeah, Wicked and Trout.
Not what I wanted.
No, and no cautions coming out. There's going to be some tempers flaring after that one.
Oh, and it looks like Blakey T, the guy I just hit my dark horse. He was involved in something earlier. He's in the back. This is his 3rd time running up front, and he has had a manure situation happen on him.
Yeah, right now we got the number 19 and the number 24 battling out for the lead going in towards, I would say we probably have about 4 or 5 laps to go.
Blakey T and Trout definitely would have liked that strict caution rule right there.
That's right.
Unfortunate for both of them. They both were running up front and fast. Unfortunate for Blakey T and Trout. But as we say that, Noko is right behind Wicked, and then Wicked's right behind that OG and that beautiful 20 car administrator, one of the administrators of the league, K Taddy. K Taddy's looking good, but Noko's coming to his inside, right behind RJ Smitty, Robbie.
Yeah, I was watching Noko there, and he's just come blatantly. Get out of my way. I'm coming through, boys. Watch out.
Oh, big wreck for the leaders. That's going to cause a caution.
If that is not a dandelion on the track, I don't know what is. Yellow flag, that has to be.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
What's going to happen, boys? What's going to happen?
Yeah, right there putting Robbie. I was watching K-Mac. Taddy and the other car was actually in front of him. We got all the action live on the broadcast. It's going to be something to go back and look after the race. I'm telling you, this is a good race. We got a lot of aggressive driving going on. Probably 2 or 3 to go here at the flag.
Let's put this politely. Poop's going to hit the fan.
5 laps to go. Live broadcast feed. Thanks to A-Trout for broadcasting on his self-personal.
Yeah, Poop's going to hit the fan. Let's put it like that. We're going to put it politically correct, gentlemen.
Who you going with here?
Anybody.
Anybody. That's right.
This is the benefit that Trout and Blakey T wanted to see. They've been fast. They can work their way back to the front. This is something that Noko possibly didn't want to see, but wanted to see if he went in for some tires. If you went in for tires, you got Wicked right there. You got Taddy. You got Trout. You got Noko. There's Blakey T. I mean, guys, we have so many potential winners. We got No Pit Pendle right here. We got OG sitting here. Robbie, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts? These guys are going to be pushing, and they're going to be pushing hard now. We're probably going to see maybe 1 or 2 more cautions if we've got the laps, but there's definitely going to be a lot of bumping going on.
If I had to make a pit adjustment, that would be for my pit crew to give me a hammer so I could put a bigger hole beneath my throttle pedal to make that thing go down faster as we go 4 wide. No go going through the pits.
Yeah, this is be the last lap right here, guys. Final lap.
Oh, and here we go. RJ Smitty's out front. OG spinning around. He hits Noko. Noko and OG are spinning around. Takes out Pit Pendle with him. Oh no! 3 guys up front we've seen all night. RJ Smitty's pulling 3 and 4 cars down the front. Look at that. We got Boomhauer, Wicked, and Checkmate Taylor sitting right there.
Looks like a caution came out.
Yeah, that's...
I think that might be the end of the race.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, what an unfortunate circumstance. Those guys drove so hard.
Yep, that's the end of the race. The winner, RJ Smitty. Second going to Boomhauer, third Checkmate.
That's awesome for Boomhauer to finish in second on a big comeback. Great for Checkmate Taylor, too. These guys always race up front. Like I said, Boomhauer had to take a small sabbatical. RJ Smitty's had some bad fortune in the back, but man, that is not the way you want to see that race end, guys.
Yeah, taking it to the end of the race here. We'll get the top 3 in here in a minute, along with one of the race admins to let y'all talk to them and do an interview. Stay tuned. This broadcast here will be ending after their interviews, but we will be starting up another broadcast with the second race for this evening.
Robbie, Clay, are you guys going to be able to make the Chicago broadcast?
Oh yeah, man, I'm in there, especially with you and Robbie being on tonight. I'm enjoying it, man.
Looks like, yeah, we got RJ Smitty, Boomhauer, Checkmate, Wicked for 4th, Trout 5th, Mills, another great guy, friend of mine who's a broadcaster, finishes 6th, Woodruff Sport 7th, K Taddy at 8th, K Mac 9th, Blakey T 10th. That is not what he wanted to see, especially since he was contending for the lead. Then we got Bolt Crusher up there in 11th, OG in 12th, No Pit Pendle 13th, No Go 14th, Spank Racer, who we saw race so great in his debut, finished 15th, Lives of Plant 16th, and Buckin 17th, guys. Great drivers in the back, unfortunate circumstances, but you can't take away that RJ Smitty didn't drive his heart out to win that race either.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, watching that race, RJ wasn't up towards the front, in the first, second, and third positions for much. He really snuck in there and took the win.
It's so hard, especially with the All-Star break coming up with these guys. They want all their points. They want their stage points. The hot seat drivers want to prove that they deserve to be there. Blakey T being one of those. Spank being one of those guys. Prove that they could be there. Prove that they could drive up front. But, you can't fault for how the cards fall at the end of the night, guys.
Michigan and Chicago at the end of the Chicago race, by the looks of it.
And apparently, because I went to the bathroom real quick, I forgot to back out. I'm at one of my favorite tracks ever, Mid-Ohio, by myself.
Yeah, right now that was going to be the end of this broadcast for the Michigan race. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned. If you're watching live, the race should pop up here in just a second. We'll get the broadcast going for the second race of the evening. Good
Robbie,
luck.
Clay, great to have you guys, man. Can't wait to broadcast with you guys again, man. Awesome, and congratulations to the winners.
Yeah, same to you. Have a good one.